Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Kennie. I make content on all things fashion, beauty, and creativity. If that's something that you're interested in, make sure you stick around for more. A lot of you might know me from my Fashion 101 videos. I don't really make videos that tell you too much about who I am, what I do, the things I like, and all that type of stuff. So I thought, what's a better way to break the ice than to make a Q&A video? I put up a question box on my Instagram and I asked you to ask me some questions or just things that you want to know. And today I'll be answering all of them one by one. So let's get into it. The first question is, how did you figure out your style and why did you start a blog about fashion? My style kind of came to me through a lot of experimentation, a lot of figuring out what worked for me, what didn't, what I gravitated towards, and even making a lot of Pinterest boards until I was like, this resonates with me. Something that always stood out to me was definitely alternative fashion. I went through a lot of different phases when it came to alternative fashion, trying different hairstyles, piercing, different pieces, outfits, even makeup styles, figuring out what resonated with me and what didn't, until I ultimately decided that I don't really need to stick to a certain style. I can just do whatever feels right. So even if you look at my page, you'll see a lot of the outfits that I make myself. They're never going to be the same style because I just wear what resonates with me. But something that's like a common denominator in most of my outfits will be alternative elements. Now, when it comes to why I started a blog about fashion, honestly, I didn't see a lot of educational fashion content. A lot of it was just people flaunting their outfits, luxury pieces, without actually explaining how to build your style, how to shop smart, or even how to make things work on a budget. And fashion should feel accessible. Not everybody can get designer things, and that's completely fine. Which actually brings me into today's sponsor, SCENTBIRD. Now, if you love fashion, you know that fragrance is a huge part of personal style. But buying full-size designer fragrances can be a little expensive. SCENTBIRD makes it way more accessible. It's a monthly subscription where you can get travel-size fragrances for only $16.95 a month. So you can actually try the high-end fragrances that you're interested in without committing to the full thing. I personally like it because it helps you experiment and figure out what fits your vibe and what doesn't. If you want to check it out with a nice little discount, I'll have my link in the description. The next question is, where do you get your content ideas? Most of my content ideas come from creator search insights, actually looking at what people are searching up and what doesn't exist within those categories. So if somebody's searching up how to style a t-shirt for different occasions, I'm going to go straight to Content Gap and see the sub searches under it and what doesn't exist within those searches so that I can actually make it. And from there, I'll do a lot of research. I'll read a lot of articles. I'll watch videos from well-known stylists, pull that information, and even look at my own style, how I do things, how I organize things, put it all together into something that can actually educate and teach people in an instructional way so that I can work for anybody. Another thing I'll do is search up things on my own, like the regular search bar, and then see what comes up under it. Keywords like fashion or outfits, pick out the things that come up the most and scroll for a little bit to see what I don't see much of. Next question is, what's your celebrity fashion person? Which celebrity inspires you in fashion? I don't really like to idolize celebrities, but when it comes to people who I've been admiring recently, a huge one is Wisdom K, because I like how his style feels not just like an outfit, but it's like a story, and it's kind of cinematic in a way. And instead of just being super fast-paced like most content, he's actually stopping to focus on details in his outfits, the different elements. Everything just feels so cohesive. It's just perfect. What's the next one? Can you give us any tips on searching maximalist clothing or accessories? A huge tip that I have for people is go thrifting, and don't just go thrift and look in the sections that you just see out in the open. Go to things that are hidden. Go to the very back of the jewelry section. Look in between things that people maybe looked at and put back. That's where you're going to find unique things that no one else has. Maybe go home later and rearrange the beads and the pendants and stuff on it to make it your own. There's a lot of maximalist jewelry available in thrift stores if you look hard enough. Another great thing that you can do is also shop small businesses. A lot of small businesses sell very bold pieces, or you can even get custom things made for you. Or you can even learn how to make your own jewelry. I have so much jewelry supplies that I'll use and make my own jewelry. It's a very good skill to have if you want to make expressive things that you can't find anywhere else. What are your favorite genres of fashion, and what are your opinions on streetwear? Right now, I'm very into alternative subcultures. So grunge, your typical alt, goth, dark academia mixed with other things. I'm also really into earthy, but whimsical, earthy. And I am also into streetwear. When it comes to my opinions on streetwear, I like streetwear. I feel like a lot of people, when they say they're into streetwear, it's not genuine. This is especially people who try to capitalize on streetwear and it's not genuine. They'll just make a t-shirt with the same screen printed design that you see on every printed shirt and call it fashion. I just don't think it's genuine. Especially when you're taking something and making it like $100 when you got it off Alibaba for way less than that. A lot of people just see it as a trend and a cash grab and they're not actually interested in it. And they don't do the research and know the significance of it or where it comes from. I think anyone can really partake in any fashion trend, but when you don't know where it comes from and you don't know why it's significant and you treat it like it's not something to be appreciated, that's when I feel like it's not genuine. That's just my opinion though. The next question is, what's your favorite Tyler the Creator song? Right now it's Darling I. My honorable mentions though are Most Hinted Cheeks and Are We Still Friends? And also, I Thought You Wanted to Dance. The next question is, do you like silk or satin fabrics and have you styled or tailored them before? For my own outfits, but I don't really style them and tailor them on other people. Not that I don't want to, but because I haven't really gotten the opportunity to. Most of the shoots that I've done have been streetwear or alternative expressive clothing, and nobody really ever brings it up. I don't know. It's just not something that I've had the opportunity to do, but I definitely would be interested in doing that in the future if somebody wanted me to, I guess. When it comes to styling, I don't really like to change things too much. If somebody wants something specific, I'm not gonna ruin your vision and do too much. Of course, I'll bring my own ideas into it, but I'm not gonna throw in satin and silk there if the theme is streetwear. Let's be real. The next question is, if your life was a quote, what would it be? It would definitely be a SZA quote, which, by the way, if you don't see the whole control thing, it's kind of inspired by SZA, but not really. But anyways, the quote, control is not real, and I'm really understanding that every day. It's about the acceptance of relinquishing control that makes it powerful for you. I can really relate with this when it comes to my page in general. When I started making content, I was really trying to control the whole image and how everything looked and was trying to copy the exact formula of everybody else. Even with expressing my own ideas, I was still just showing my outfits, doing the styling videos, doing the trends, not actually doing what I felt was needed in the fashion scene when it came to content. But once I actually took a pause from that and actually took the time to research, make instructional videos, look at the content gaps and fill them, I actually started to feel like I was making what I needed to make. And that's actually when everything was able to take off for me. But I think it's really about not trying to control things in the way that you think that they need to be and just letting things flow as they are. And that's when everything will start to work out for you. That's not even just something that I see in content, but that's just real life. You have to experience life and let things work out for you. You can't just try to control everything and think that that's just how it's meant to be. You'll be a lot happier if you just let things happen how they're supposed to. And also the whole control thing, the Control album, that album helps me through a lot. I think I discovered SZA in middle school and that album really helped me through a lot. So it's something that I hold very dearly to my heart. I would love to see her in concert one day also. That's a bucket list item for me. Do you have a favorite flower? If so, what's the name of it? My favorite flower is violets because my favorite color is purple. There isn't really a crazy story behind it. My honorable mention though is tulips, but specifically purple tulips. Who is your favorite musical artist? Frank Ocean, point blank. I do have other artists that I listen to a lot. I think my top ones right now, definitely Party of Two. I recently went to their concert. So good. I think that they're way better to do. I understand. I did like them as a trio and even when they were 4 people, but I think that they're way better as a duo. I just like the energy. It's like the image is there and like the sound. And you're listening to America's Next Top Party. It feels like you're listening to a DJ set and it just makes you want to dance. Even when I was at the show, a lot of concerts, people will always have their phones out and then people are scared to dance because of it. I barely got any videos there. I barely even got videos of my favorite songs from the album because I was actually present and existing in the moment. And I think that's the whole point of music. Music is supposed to make you enjoy experiences and connect with people. It's supposed to make you dance, not insecure and scared. And I think their music does exactly that. I think I also had an opener at their show named Ç.TA. Ç.TA opened for them. I didn't really know him much before. I didn't know his music videos because they're very cinematic. Some of them I had seen quite frequently. But it wasn't until I went to the show and listened to it more that I started listening to music more. And then there's also Distant Conrad, because I've been listening to Whimsy I listen to 譜. 겸.စို every day on my travel to school, before class, after class, when I'm studying. It's just that good of an album. What is your favorite flavor of chocolate? White chocolate, specifically cookies and cream, the Hershey's one, and dark chocolate, but anything more than 40%, I can't. How to layer jewelry. I don't really follow set rules. Personally, I like to have 2 small pieces and then 1 chunky or statement piece. This more so goes for rings and bracelets, not really necklaces, because I don't really layer necklaces that much. I also more recently started layering earrings again. I don't know if that's going to pick up on the camera, but I'm more minimal when it comes to necklaces and earrings, but when it comes to bracelets, I'd be stacking my bracelets. Do you like tea or coffee more if you had to pick? I think I like tea more, but I've been drinking coffee more because when I go to school, I'm tired. I just drink coffee, but I really want to stop drinking coffee because I don't like having caffeine because it gives me burst energy, and then I'm just tired, and I have to drink more, and then it's like a cycle. But I think my favorite tea would have to be bubble tea, specifically taro milk tea with extra tapioca. Favorite designer or underrated designers? I go to local fashion shows. I don't really keep up with popular designers, if I'm being real, unless I have to research for a video or there's something that catches my eye online. But local designers, I think right now, Perletta. If there's more, I will put them on the screen somewhere. But local people, unless there's something online that catches my eye. Favorite movie genre? I like horror, but not like horror that's overtly like scary. More so like interesting and gory and expressive. I think the last horror movie I watched was Sinners, and I watched that more than 10 times. That would have to be the most interesting movie that I've seen in a very long time. And Ryan Coogler too is just an amazing filmmaker. What would you pack for a 3-day trip if you didn't know where you were going? Honestly, first on the list is clothes, specifically at least 7 outfits and then a bunch of random pieces so that I can like mix and match. A bunch of accessories, mostly rings, and a few necklaces that I can switch around, and a bunch of glasses. Notice how none of these are actual essentials. It's just clothes. I think those are all the questions. If there are any more questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them if I can, and let me know what else you want to see. I don't know how to end these. It's been so long since I sat and just talked for a long period of time. But I'm going to be doing this more often because I'm kind of over making short videos. Like, yes, it's more digestible for people because y'all's attention spans are fried. Like, me making the short little, fashion one, it's okay, I guess. But I'm starting to be like, I don't know if I'm enjoying this anymore. I need to make it longer. So that's definitely on the way. If there's anything specific that you want me to talk about, I know some of you DM'd me and sent me like ideas that you wanted, and I wrote them down and I actually scripted them already to make. Let me know and I will make them. And yeah, be sure to stick around for more, and I'll see you in the next one.